We grew up on mixtapes and neon lights.
Hey there, everybody. It is the GlobeTrotting Trio. I'm Amy.
I'm Shelley.
Hello, I'm Tammy.
We are so excited to be here. We are going to talk to you about financial wins and lifestyle upgrades today. That is kind of one of my favorite things to talk about. So, we didn't start this business to get rich overnight, right? None of us
Nope.
did. But
No,
we have
nope.
some huge financial wins along the way that have been huge game changers. So, first, I want to talk about what each of us define as financial freedom. So, Tammy, do you want to tell us what that financial freedom really looks like to you? What is that phrase?
So when I think about financial freedom, the first thing that pops into my mind is that I want to be able to give freely. So that's the first thing that pops into my mind. But of course, there's a lot of steps in between that too, because, hey, if I want to go out and get, you know, $100 piece of something, whatever that thing is, as I want to be able to not have to think about is that I'm not going to be able to pay a bill. So that's probably the first step in financial freedom is that I can go and I can buy whatever I want whenever I want. And then of course then the big giving thing is that well, anybody that knows me knows that I love to give big. And that's just for people and for organizations. So that's probably what financial freedom means to me.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Shelley. So, what is your financial freedom? What does that sound like to you?
I love that Tammy's talking about giving because that is very big in our household as well. I feel like we're really generous
Mhm.
with the money that we have, the income that we make, and it makes me feel good. I like to do that for other people, but
Mhm.
I would say first and foremost for me is that I financially am not tied to someone else that I'm making money for 40 hours a week, punching a time clock, not in my home, not with my family.
Yes, ma'am.
It provides us the finances for me to not have to do that. And that thrills me. As much as we love giving, I gotta say, I like not having to go to a building and punch a time clock 40 hours a week.
Mhm.
100% agree. So, I will go along with what you guys have said. Of course, I love the fact that we have more freedom to be able to give. That's huge. If I feel like my children need something,
Mhm.
and my children are all adults, just so you know, but if I want to, I can do that. I can give to my
Right?
grandbabies. I can give to my friends' kids. I can do what I need to
Mhm.
do. I can give to charities that I want to give to,
Mhm.
anything, because I have that disposable income that I've never had before, right? And the other thing for financial freedom for me is the ability to take over um my career. Like, I didn't want to have to be tied, like Shelley said, to something. I am a retired educator and I did not want to have to walk back into
Yeah.
that classroom.
Oh,
And just knowing that
yeah.
this income has given me the freedom to do things differently, to live a life differently. So the other thing I like to do is give vacations, but
Mm.
to my husband and I. That's
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah. To ourselves.
Yeah, I like to give them. So that's another thing, and that's something huge and different. When I first started, that's what I wanted. We wanted to be able to take 2 cruises a year, and that was really all we wanted. And now we're living a life completely different and beyond that. So I'm
Yeah.
not even just doing 2 cruises a year. We're doing cruises and land trips and air
Yeah.
trips and all kinds of things in between.
So, Amy, when we talked earlier today, how many cruises between the two of us do we have already planned through 2027? We have three between like now and 2027.
5.
So we have eight cruises planned just between the two of us in the next like 15, 16 months. That's
Yes,
insane.
it
I'm
is.
not adding anything. I'm adding an exact zero on that
Right.
for your
Now
cruises.
you could do the land portion of one of the cruises that we're going to do, Tammy,
There you
because
go.
we're going to New Zealand, followed then by Australia.
Oh, nice.
And then we're going
I
to do
didn't even know
23
you were
days.
doing that.
Okay, I so this is something that Kent, Denise, Andrew, and I had decided, and then I may have mentioned to Shelley. And Shelley said, well, I think Alan might like to do this too. So You could go to New Zealand and go to Hobbiton with us. We're going to go to Hobbiton and then we're going to go to Australia. And I started doing a whole bunch of training about Australia today. And let me just explain to you that Sandy told us that we needed at least 5 days, and she's a big fat liar.
Oh, you
I
said
think
I
seven.
started doing the
Hey.
training. We need more time than that in
Oh gosh, yes.
Australia. We need
So
at least 7 days at the
yeah,
bare minimum.
yep. So Dave and I went to Australia in 2001. I love
Yeah.
Australia. And I'm telling you what, we would go back in a heartbeat. We would. We would go
Okay,
back in a heartbeat.
well,
Yeah.
April 2027.
Come with
Oh, that
us.
might work.
Come with us.
That might work. Okay. It
All right.
actually, it might work. It might.
No,
Do I have
I
to
say
go?
come with us, but that
I
is
know, but
if I
do
can get my husband on a ship for that long.
I was going to say, wait, do I have, how many days are at sea?
It's 23, so you don't have to do the cruise with us, hon. We know that's not
Are
good for
you kidding me? It's 23 days.
Yes.
Hey, now
But
just
we're
2
going to
weeks.
Fiji and Tahiti
Yeah. And one day we're
and
going to do
Hawaii.
a world cruise. So there's that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna. I get seasick. Everybody that doesn't know, I get motion sickness, terrible motion sickness. I can't even imagine being on a cruise for 23 days.
So just
Okay,
meet
so
us.
okay,
meet
so
us
how
there.
many land days and how many sea days?
So
Do you know?
there's going to be 4 or 5 ports on the way. So here's what you do. You just go with us to the New Zealand and Australia section and then fly home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Okay.
you could
Yeah.
fly over to Fiji since you'd be really kind of close to that.
Oh, like super close. But yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely do that. And
So you could do a
Tahiti's
week with us there, or a week and a half with us there. Then you can go hit Fiji, and then yeah, there you go. Then
there
come
you
home.
go. You're going on the boat, and I'm going in the plane.
Well, wave.
Actually, we
Yeah,
could really work that out. So, yeah, you need to send me that itinerary. Now we're
we'll
actually
do that. We will for sure do that. I'll send it to you. All right. So let's just say this: that we all have our own version, but most of it's pretty similar with that financial freedom, right?
Yeah, we are.
Now we all have our own specific goals that we have reached or we would like to reach. So we don't need to necessarily know the exact amount, but
Mhm.
tell me like what was your goal? And I'll start with mine because I've already kind of alluded to what it was. I needed to be able to pay my bills that my education career was doing.
Right.
That's what I did. I replaced it. So how about you, Tammy? What was your goal that you needed?
So, I mean, it's always, always my goal is my son, obviously. And if I was not working this business, we would, and working corporate America, we wouldn't have been able to put him in a specialized school homeschooling with 2 teachers. We would have never been able to hire them to be
Right.
able to do this. So that is always been my main focus at this business. But we also obviously we need to do this, but we also need to pay bills over here too.
Right.
So you got the paying the bills and the extra that he needs to do. And things aren't cheap when you're raising a child.
Oh, we had 5 of them.
I know. So it was that to be able to do with the extra things that he needed and also contribute to the household bills also. So yeah, that was my original goal. And now my goal right now is to 100% support my mother and all of her bills. And that's what I'm working for now is to go to the next level. And that's where I would be able to support all of my mom's bills. So
That is amazing.
yeah, that's a big goal.
You're a good
But
daughter.
yeah, I am a good daughter. No,
And humble, super
and
humble.
humble. That's the second time I've said that.
We might want to look up the definition of humble.
Okay, so I'm really sarcastic if you hadn't figured it out.
You figured that one out.
Maybe a little facetious too.
Yeah. So what about you, Shelley? What is that financial
Oh, well,
goal?
I already alluded to mine. So when we found this, I didn't have a job. I had been downsized and
Yeah.
I was bound and determined to not have to go back. And I was working 50 plus hours a week
Yeah.
as a district sales manager. And while I enjoyed it, I knew I didn't want to go back to it. And I did not want to have a boss that I had to go and see every day. Like I had no
So
desire,
true.
absolutely none. So
That
So
just makes my
true.
skin crawl if I think about it. If I have to think about going into a job and reporting to a boss, I
Uh-huh.
just, yeah,
Mhm.
no, thank
I
you.
mean, I can't even tell you how many times this week I was so thankful I didn't have to beg for time off. I didn't have to, when Alan
Yeah.
was so sick and I was like, I didn't have to worry about it. He was my only priority and
Yeah,
everybody else could just wait. And I was able to do that. And I'm so
Yeah.
thankful for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mine wasn't as big, but mine was this. It was raining this morning, and I got
Yeah.
to roll over
Oh,
and go back to sleep.
Oh, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Isn't that awesome?
I don't think I'm going to get up. And then somebody texted me and said I'm on Zoom. So
I
then
know.
Shelly
Was,
said,
oh,
was that Shelley that said
yeah.
that?
Ah,
yes. We meet 3 times a week and I didn't keep any of the others because of Alan. And this morning I was
Oh,
up and I was actually like showered. My eyes were actually open. And I was like, okay,
that's
I'm coming.
hilarious.
I'm
That's
coming.
hilarious. Because
She
I
was betting
actually,
on me not being there.
and I took MJ to school this morning and came back and fell asleep. I'm like,
oh
man,
yeah,
I needed that sleep.
And you
that's
don't have to feel
awesome.
bad about it.
No, I
You
didn't. I
just,
didn't.
yeah.
No, no,
Yep.
I
All
love
right.
it.
So additional income supporting big life moments. Are there any big life moments that you were able to
Mm.
do, like that
S-
this
So,
business
Yeah.
has
yeah.
helped you achieve? What is it?
Well, our 25th wedding anniversary to Fiji. We had said that we were going to do that from the time that we got married. We said we were going to go back to the place that we were, but um, there's so many things that could have stopped us if I was working at corporate America, because of this business, we were able to take all that time off. We were gone from our house for 11 days, and
Yeah.
I mean, how many days off do you get off at corporate America? And that's a huge reason. And one of those, big life moments for me for sure. And the other one, and I try not to cry over this, is, a few years ago when my dad was passing, um, I wouldn't be, and I wasn't anywhere else except with my mom and my dad. He was at home, and that's where he wanted to die. And I did nothing for a week, 2 weeks, because after he passed, I was helping my mom. That's big. And ah, I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to worry about anything. And my travel friends, family, and not friends, but my travel family, sent me flowers and sent me food. I mean, literally, they sent me food. So and DoorDash, but they sent me food. I mean, it's
Hey,
just, and they're
Is
from
the thought, right?
another state, and
Yeah.
so it's those things that there's no price tag you can put on it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
I agree. What about you, Shelley?
Oh, well, my absolute favorite is the fact that we get to take our kids
Yeah.
every other year on family vacation, like family Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. We pay for all of us to be together. Um, I would have never been able to do that before. And just to have that time as a family of 12, whatever, what are we, 6, 8, 10 of us? Um,
Yeah.
5, 6 days together in a house somewhere. It, those are moments you can't replace. Just like Tammy said, you can't get those back. You can't replace them. And I will never regret spending
No.
that time there. But I think, the where we really saw the benefit of this business and where what it really afforded us to be able to do first, um, was to have my mom live with us for almost 3 years when she was diagnosed with dementia. I was able to be here almost all the time and to give her a home and to make sure she had good meals and she was surrounded with people looking after her. It was us. I was able to do that for her.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I will never
Yeah.
regret it.
No. No. Mm-mm.
I
So
am
I'll leave
forever
mine on the
thankful.
positive. I'll put mine over on the positive. We'll move it back to the positive side. So
Oh, I
I
thought ours
love,
were positive, just
they were
emotional.
positive, but they're very
Just
emotional. So
add.
I'll do the non-emotional side.
Okay,
Yeah.
do it.
I'll hit the non-emotional. I get to take my grandbabies every year on a trip. I love the
Yeah.
fact that, and they're supposed to be four and potty trained, but sometimes it extends a
Yeah.
little bit or whatever. But they get to go on trips with us, and we get to go places that are fun, like cruises, or we took them to Branson this summer. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Those are things that, again, if we were tied to a brick and mortar school or a business or whatever, we
Yeah.
would not have the ability to just pick up and go when we wanted to go.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So that definitely is huge for me. Now, if we were to look though at like what our money situation is it extra money or is it extra options that we really like?
Mine's
Mm.
totally options.
Options.
Yeah.
Options.
Yeah, because
Totally
Mhm.
me,
options.
whenever I first started the business, I knew that we wanted to travel a little bit more. And we've been going to places like we went to Nashville a few times. We went Lake of the Ozarks and rented a house. And, we went down to Dallas and did these little things here and there, but we never really did big things. And then we went on that cruise, and I knew cruises were really what I wanted to
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
And just this past March, when we went to Barcelona, I realized that's the kind of travel that I really want to do. And that's the extra options. Before it was like we could squeeze in a 4-day cruise or a 5-day cruise. Now we're talking a 23-day cruise with a seven
Right.
day in Australia and, 4 or 5 days in New Zealand. So that's over a month that we're going to be gone. And that extra options, those were things that were never even they weren't even in my purview at any
Wheelhouse.
point
Mm-mm.
before.
Mhm.
Like I thought that was just for the rich and famous people. And
Right.
No.
I'm rich and famous now.
Yes, you are.
She flips her hair.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So what about you guys? Tell me about that extra money versus extra options. What does that mean to you?
Well, one, I get to work from wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not chained to my desk. I'm not chained to my house. Now I spend most of my time in my office when I am
Yeah.
home, but I don't have to. I can work from the ball field. I can work from clear across the country at my son's house. I can work on a cruise ship. Just the being able to just get up and go and do that. Like,
Mhm.
I had no idea what that life could be like that. And there's people all over that live that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. I had no idea the impact that would
Mhm.
have on us of just being able to have that option.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
Yeah.
I agree. What about you, Tammy?
Options. I mean, I never like to be tied down. I never like to be told what to do and all of that.
No.
So no, me.
I know it
Um,
sounds so crazy.
that's so crazy. So yeah, it's just having the ability to, I mean, just like we said about taking a nap. It's the
Yeah.
options that I can take that nap. Or it's
Yeah.
the options, if I got on a, thinking like I was thinking that maybe I should just go into, Florida early. Maybe I should just go in on Monday instead of Tuesday.
Mhm,
I can do that because
Uh-huh.
mhm,
I will be working, I can take my business anywhere. Um,
Yes.
and I've said for a long time that I want to spend my winters because I'm in Ohio. I want to
Uh-huh.
go to Florida or somewhere warmer for the winter, and eventually I will. And I have to get my kid graduated first, but
mhm.
other than that, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And you know what? The one thing that I haven't heard any of us say, and when I say this, you're both going to be like, oh my gosh, yes. We have that option to increase our income every single week.
Good.
Every
Yes.
Yes.
week. We are
Yeah.
not tied
Yes.
to an hourly rate. We are
Mm-mm.
not tied to, a
Mm-mm.
salary. Like we can positively affect
Yeah.
our income every single week. Like come on. That's the
Yeah.
power. That's
That
Yes.
truly
is,
what the
and,
power
and
is.
true, that's financial freedom right there. is that you don't have to, you can
Yes.
only do so many work. If you're getting hourly, you only can work so much. But in this business, if you need an extra $1,000, there's a way to get it. There's a way to get it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
100% agree.
yeah, you get paid for what you do.
So I do love the fact that we have the ability to get those big wins, or if we don't want the big wins, we can, just live more. That's huge for me, right?
Live
I think that's
more.
huge for all of us that we have the ability to to win at whatever rate we feel like we need to,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes.
All right, so let me just say this. If if I can get to the right part of my screen, if
Oh,
that's what you're in here.
I thought she was really setting it
I
up.
know. I thought it was gonna be so
if
But you know what? It was kind of
Yeah.
big. Amy's never technically challenged.
If
So,
you want to know more about this, you guys got to keep following along. You got to talk
Oh.
about some things here. Like we've talked about some financial freedom for us and what it looks like. But guess what? Next week, we're going to talk about time and personal freedom, which are huge.
huge.
They're actually probably more important to so many of us than even the financial freedom. So if you liked what you heard today in this episode and you want to learn some more, hit the subscribe button and follow us so that you can continue to get our podcasts. Or if you're on YouTube, watch us here. And as always, we want to thank you for joining us on this wild and beautiful journey. Until next time, let's keep exploring, everybody.
With dreams unbroken.
Bye, guys.
Generations,